Hey guys, here's a standard match with TrainerFromKanto, and this is another match from my Open Challenge Day. I'm going to lead with my lead Metagross. He leads with an Espeon. He switches right off the bat into his Blastoise as I just set up the Stealth Rocks. So I'm kind of figuring he might Rapid Spin, so I decided to go into Zapdos to scare it away, but he ends up going for the Earthquake. So my Zapdos takes that pretty nicely, and then he predicts a Thunderbolt really nicely and goes out into an Electivire, which of course gets his Motor Drive boost. So I go out into Metagross, and he Ice Punches, which was pretty obvious, so I went into Metagross to resist the Ice Punch. And now I'm just going to Explode. I'm pretty sure my Metagross can live an Earthquake just because Metagross has pretty good defense, and he lives the Earthquake pretty nicely, and I do get off the Explosion, so I take out that Electivire before it's able to do too much damage to my team due to that Motor Drive I gave it. So Electivire goes down as well as my Metagross, and now I'm going to go out into my Flygon, and he goes out into a Blaziken. And my Flygon is Choice Scarf, so I decided just to try to go for the Earthquake, not to over-predict, but he predicts it and goes into his own Flygon, which of course it misses due to Levitate. So I go out into Zapdos, not really sure what this Flygon's going to do, and he just goes into an Outrage, which actually does less than half to my Zapdos, just because my Zapdos is physically bulky, and I'm just going to go for the Roost kind of to stall it out, and he goes for the Outrage again, obviously, because he's locked into it, and I'm going to go for the Roost, so that puts me up to a pretty high amount of health, and I think I can take two more, so I decide just to stay in, and he gets confused. So I decide to predict a switch, figuring he's probably locked into Outrage and doesn't want to run the risk of confusion. So I go for the Thunderbolt, but he ends up staying in, which was really strange, but good for him. And unfortunately, my Zapdos can't live another one, and he snaps out of his confusion, so he doesn't get confused once and takes down my Zapdos. And I was just wrong. I thought my Zapdos could take two Outrages from that point, but he couldn't. So now he's confused again. I go out into Scizor because he resists the Outrage anyway, so he has to switch after that. And I'm just going to go for the Swords Dance, predicting the switch, and even if he stays in, I'm pretty sure he's Scarfed, so it won't, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's Scarfed, so Outrage won't do a whole bunch. So I just go for the Brick Break against this Blastoise, not really sure what to expect, and he goes for the Surf, and because my Scizor is especially bulky, yeah, the Surf doesn't do a whole lot, and I'm just going to finish off that Blastoise now with Brick Break. And I am getting a useless crit, but yeah, that Blastoise goes down, and that's pretty nice. And now he's going to go out into Blaziken, which I'm expecting to be, like, Scarfed or something. Either way, he's faster. So I go out in a Latias to take the Fire-type move. I don't think Bullet Punch can KO at that point, and I just don't want to risk it, to be honest. I want to keep Scizor for later. He gets the Burn Hacks on Latias, which isn't really that big of a deal, because Latias is a special sweeper anyway. The damage just becomes annoying, especially when you add the Sandstorm to that damage, because now he has the Sandstorm and the Burn doing annoying damage to me. So on the switch, I decided to Calm Mind because I expected the switch, and at this point, my Latias isn't too useful, and this Tyranitar is just going to be a pain, so I decided just to Dragon Pulse and get as much damage as possible. Should do decent damage after the Calm Mind, even though he does get the Sandstorm special defense boost for rock types, and he's just going to Crunch. I do about half to his Tyranitar, which isn't too shabby, actually. So I go out into Flygon because I know I'm faster with Flygon because mine's Scarfed, and I just go for the U-turn because I thought he may switch, and the U-turn actually doesn't quite KO Tyranitar, which makes me upset. So I go in my own Tyranitar, and yeah, I kind of figured he'd Ice Fang. His Ice Fang misses, but it really wouldn't have done much anyway, and I just go for the Stone Edge. I go for the Stone Edge basically because I don't want to go for the Earthquake and have him switch out into Flygon or something, or that, something else. I just want to get damage on basically anything he decides to go into. But after I kill his Tyranitar, he goes out into his Blaziken and Sky Uppercuts me, which hurts, and the reason I stayed in is because I don't have anything to really take a Sky Uppercut or a fighting type move, so I just had to leave it in. So now I do go out into Flygon, and I predict to switch into his Flygon this time, so I go for the Outrage, and of course that's super effective and will take down his annoying Flygon. I guess he predicted the Earthquake again. I actually predicted that switch into Flygon, which is amazing for me, and Flygon can pretty much sweep now because all he has left is just pretty frail sweepers that get outsped by Scarf Flygon. So he goes out in Espeon, that's going to not take an Outrage, and neither will Blaziken after, after Stealth Rocks. So, yeah, good game, TrainerFromKanto. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys. I think this is my 6th battle. I have 2 more to post for my Open Challenge Day, so stay tuned for them. Alright, peace. Hey guys, this is a question of the day submitted by PK Sparks, and I decided to choose it because I don't know. Anyway, his question was, what Pokemon nature describes you best? As for me, I would say either calm or serious. But I'll go with calm just because it's actually useful as a Pokemon nature. But leave a comment about what Pokemon nature describes you best, and rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.